Hallelujah! All my New South Empire, wonderful and fantastic fun family of winners. It's your winner, Fitzhugh Sergio Fever's Huff. That's right. It's time for the Winners Podcast, that fact check, highly controversial podcast. That's right. Tonight I got my winners, Adam Wilson, Nick Driver, Samuel Blue, and Sawyer Aikens is my engineer. These guys are analysts, strategists, researchers, panelists, philanthropists. Tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about the government shutdown. We're going to talk about the benefits of the tariffs and what you guys think are not benefits of the tariffs. We're also going to be talking about how so many people do welcome the National Guard and why the National Guard are needed. We're also going to be talking about the real reason why they don't want any of Trump's assistance. All right. We want to send a shout out to our sponsors. Doja Vineyard. That's right. Y'all know I got my own brand of moonshine from Doja Vineyard. It's called Fitz Paradise Juice. It is so good it will make your tongue snap your brains out. And it's a spirit that hears no evil and speaks no evil. Straight like that. Then also we want to send a shout out to Lipstick. That's from Rashid Myers, Team Collective Vision, Collective Wear, Collective Music Group. Shout out to Rashid Myers and Lipsticks. I guess you say our sponsors make sure we stay high. Don't nobody want to be low. Straight like that. Anyway, let's get right to the topic, y'all.
Go Red.
And tonight's topics, like I said, was the first one we're going to talk about. Why everybody, you know what? Matter of fact, the majority of the people that's beefing about the National Guard coming to Chicago don't even live in Chicago. Don't even know nothing about Chicago. Just want to have something to say. If Trump got something to do with it, they got something to say about it. Something negative. Anyway, we're going to play a clip. Hey, Stephanie. She's a regular. Appreciate you joining the show. She said, hello, everybody. And there's some other people that's I don't know why they hitting me on the outside. Y'all, come on in the show. You watching the show, don't hit me in my inbox. Put it down here, all right? We appreciate you watching. Subscribe, share, join, comment. All right. Sorry, I need you to play that clip. This is just one resident of Chicago. Play what she had to say.
Uh-oh. Having some audio problems. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to try it a different way. Hold on.
Okay.
Just give it a minute. Go ahead. Fill in the empty air. Talk.
Okay. Well, basically, there were multiple clips. Do I need to send you another one? Because I pulled up by like 6 of them. 6 different people.
No. I just had to do it this way. That's all.
Okay.
Here we go. There we go.
How to help Chicago and call ICE. The number is 866-DHS2-ICE. We are going to move our people away from this culture of liberal failure that has compromised our sovereignty and left the citizens of Chicago behind. Go Red.
I will tell you right now, I'm a person that lives on the south side of Chicago. Let's talk about what things that's happening in our neighborhood, but you want to put a Band-Aid and you want to act like this town is good. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how many people get killed in downtown Chicago every weekend. Don't board up things to put a Band-Aid on a crisis.
It's a shame. It's awful.
And Brandon Johnson doesn't do anything to stop it.
Brandon Johnson is not worth a quarter. He's not worth a quarter. Clean the city up and keep it clean. Don't make it look good. Don't put a facade on for the people that's coming here. I don't think that's fair, and I don't think he should have another term, period. I will never vote for him. Never.
We want ICE to come. Please, everybody, try to help.
They are talking about the mayor, Brandon Johnson. He just signed an executive order to not allow ICE. I also had clips pulled up of the officers in Chicago who are pleading for them to allow the National Guard to come because they need help. But they have orders not to assist ICE or not to even come when ICE or the citizens call for backup for ICE. Now, recognize that the insurrectionists they was glad to use insurrectionists on January 6th, but all of a sudden now they don't want to use it. It's like they enjoy keeping the crime there, especially that governor, what's his name, Pritzky or whatever. And they're bombing the cars, turning the cars over, attacking the ICE agents, threatening their families. Who the hell wouldn't want help? You understand what I'm saying? Adam, what's your take on this, brother?
I think a lot of, kind of like you said, a lot of pieces of it get twisted. For instance, like the apartment complex where some of U.S. citizens were detained and taken out of the area, it's because the gang and cartel had full control over that apartment complex. The only way to resolve the issue was to grab everybody in there, clean the whole entire building, and put back in there who's supposed to be in there. Some of the ways that they're having to go about doing this to be able to resolve this on our own turf, which is seen as act on American citizens, is just more so cleanup. The local citizens, as you say a completely different story about it. And it's just, I guess, picking and choosing what serves your narrative opposed to what the actual facts and reality are of the situation. It seems like it's much needed and the citizens there appreciate it.
I also heard that they had kids hog-tied and all that.
No.
There's a gentleman that said he stays in the building. I had that clip pulled up too, but for time restraints, we had to limit the amount of clips. A gentleman who stayed in the building said none of this is true.
Right.
And plus, if that was true, that'd have been the first thing that would have been on national TV. But they put it out there, and because the woe is me, you know what I'm talking about? The woe is me, so-called woke folk who love to be pitied, says it, then the other woe is me, so-called woke folk jump on the bandwagon and just continue to spread that lie. Sam, what's your take on the whole situation?
I think everybody that stays on the South Side basically wants what's happening. For the longest, it's been a whole lot of people can't go out in the evenings. Now they're walking, they're doing that. And also a lot of people don't realize that the 7,500 apartment complex was half vacant already. And it was actually condemned because they ended up, I think, arresting 37 or 39 gang members that was actually held up in the building.
Right.
So they definitely cleaned it up. And the thing is, where they're getting a lot of kickback on is they're saying, well, they said that they were only going to go after the hardened criminals. Well, they ask for law enforcement when you arrest somebody and you see that they have a deportation order to give us a call so we can come get them, so we don't have to go into the residential areas. We can just come to the jailhouse, and it doesn't get safer than that. But they're saying we're not going to cooperate there, so they're sending them into the community. And basically what's going to end up happening is Trump is going to be able to declare the Insurrection Act. And that's what they don't understand what they're doing. They're actually going to be able to empower him to do that. So they're mobilizing the National Guard. But the thing is, when you mobilize the National Guard, initially, all they was doing was protecting the federal buildings. You know, the ICE complex, those are federal buildings. So nobody is out there on the street other than some FBI agents, some CIA agents, and all they're doing is just making their presence known. And the crime rates have gone down so much, so we already see what's happening. I mean, look at Memphis. You know,
It's happening.
But they wanted it. So, you know, I just think it's one of those things that people just have to stop focusing on the party and focus on the policies.
AJ, I appreciate your comments. She said those are all facts. She said if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have nothing to fear.
Right.
So who was that just said they have to clean house some kind of way? If the governor and the mayor is not doing their job, they have to do it. So that was words of wisdom, whoever that is. Well, we're glad to have you comment and view. We appreciate your comment. And then Stephanie said one of my god sisters is from the south side of Chicago. I'm going to try and reach out to her and have her jump onto the podcast. Yeah, that would be great, Stephanie. As a matter of fact, we would love to have her actually come on the show. If you can make that happen, we'd appreciate it very much. Yeah. Nick, what is your take on it?
I think Brandon Johnson is as bad for Chicago as a screen door is for a submarine. And you look at some of this stuff that is going on, and it's almost like, you know, you have these sanctuary cities, and there's all this stuff going on. There's all this crime going on, and it's almost like anytime Trump says something, they just want to do the opposite. You know, Trump could say, "Hey, don't drink Clorox." And guess what? They're going to drink Clorox, you know, and I think that's where we're at. And I think that's where we're at when it comes to Brandon Johnson at this moment in time. And to my understanding, maybe Sam Sawyer, yourself, or Adam could maybe, if I'm wrong here, maybe you guys can check that. But to my understanding, the National Guard is there to protect federal assets. So they're not going out of those areas and arresting people, to my knowledge. So
I'm like this. If Trump seen a baby in the ocean getting attacked by a school of sharks, and he go out there and save that baby, do you know they would say that Trump deprived them sharks of a meal? It's ridiculous.
Probably so.
It's ridiculous. But that screen on the submarine, screen door on the submarine, I think that's the big one. Anyway,
could I say something real quick to what Nick said?
Go ahead.
They are the National Guard. You are correct when you talk about the assets, and people don't understand that a federal employee is a federal asset. So if you're ICE, Border Patrol, you're a federal asset. So there are going to be National Guard that are going to be out on the street convoying with the ICE agents, because when they pull somebody, when they detain somebody on the street, then that's when the crowd starts. So basically the National Guard will be there to protect they'll be able to protect the actual ICE agents, the federal agents that are out there doing their job. And I think Words of Wisdom said something like they're not authorized. I would advise you to learn the federal law. As a retired veteran, I lived it. And they are there and authorized to do. That's the reason why they were able to do what they were able to do in DC, because DC is a federal city. That's the reason why the mayor couldn't say anything about what they was doing, because it's federal. So I just hope that everybody understands the actual difference between the Army National Guard, these National Guard troops, and then you have, the sheriff's office, because they're actually starting to help ICE, because the sheriff's office doesn't fall up under the mayor. So they're actually doing those things. And they're not firing also on any citizens. So I just want Words of Wisdom to utilize your name and use wisdom in your answers.
Evidently, he doesn't know what the word what GI stands for. They are government issued.
What do you mean by fire on citizens? What do you mean by that? You mean like with weapons?
Words of Wisdom. How about Sawyer? Is there any way we could send him?
I'm already doing it. Look, if you'd like to correct us, sir or ma'am, I don't know. I'm not trying to roast you. I just don't know who you are. It's 2025. You can get canceled for that shit now. I'm gonna put the link to this call in the comment section in the live chat. Why don't you come? Let us know better, please.
Enlighten us, please. We could take all the wisdom we can get.
There, it's in the chat. I just put it in the chat. It's a comment from StarMan Filmz Global.
All right.
And I would just add to it. They absolutely can fire on you when you're trying to run them over with cars.
Right.
And you're, so.
Police kill people every day and have since the beginning of existence. It didn't just stop all of a sudden. I don't understand. That's completely.
Yeah, that's ludicrous right there. But anyway, hey, he got the right name. Words of Wisdom. It stands for WOW. 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 All right.
Words of wokeness.
Words of wokeness. Yeah. All right. But anyway, and another thing is, I haven't heard any cases of them firing on anybody. So what the hell is he talking about?
Right.
I mean,
they shot a lady 4 times that tried to
but they were rubber pellets, so they were
they shot her, and actually she had a illegal firearm in the vehicle with her.
Yeah, but she came at them with a vehicle.
Right.
Oh yeah, is that? And they actually fired into the they fired into the windshield and the side after they was hit. So
after they was hit. Yeah, that's defense, self-defense. Okay, Words of Wisdom, we sent you the link for you to actually come on the show. Show your face.
Teach us
Be a man. Be a man or woman or whatever you are.
You don't even have to show your face.
You don't even have to show your face. You can do a character. All right, just come on. All right. No, we want to see your face. We want to see your face. Anyway.
We would like to see your face just to know that you're not trolling us.
Right, for real. All right. All right, next topic. Moving right along. So you play. Okay, Words of Wisdom. We like for you to join this one too. All right. Let's see what Chris Cuomo's saying about many Democrats coming on over to the right side. You remember what I say? If you're on the left, it's impossible for you to be right. And they're coming over because they were so wrong about that always winning ass winner, Donald J. Trump.
Too proud to say that I am wrong about Trump. I'm a proud Democrat, and he's done a lot of things. Immigration. I'm happy about what's happening with immigration. I thought the stock market would tank, and I'm pretty happy with my 401k. There's a few things that I just thought things would go wrong, and I'm very happy.
Well, that is big of you to say. It'll probably lose you some friends in this polarized environment that we're in right now. But there's nothing wrong with being happy with results.
A lot of calls saying the exact same thing. And the sad part is that she feels that she can't say it, you know. But anyway, David from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Mr. Carver. First of all, I'm a registered Democrat who voted for Trump. I thought this would never happen, but some of the Democratic Party is finally walking up and saying President Trump is doing something good. They were meeting at a Senate meeting. What they're doing is great. What they started doing is to reunite themselves and reunite us. So please keep it up. Keep meeting, keep talking, keep fixing things, keep uniting us and the parties together. This will make our country stronger than ever in the world. I love it.
Good for you. Good for you. Fix, fix, fix. Instead of telling us why the other guy's worse, how do you make it better? Fix, fix, fix. You're right. I'm with you, David. Next.
Hey, Chris. I was wrong to hate President Trump, and it took October 7th for me to realize that, and him coming into office, and with whatever the Democrats are these days, and the rise of anti-Semitism, to make Trump the common sense hero of Israel these days.
Inside of this, you really have to ask yourself, what was it in the first place that caused you to hate this man so much and to oppose him so much? Was it who he actually was and the policies that he promoted, the ideas that he presented, and what he stood for? Or was it what you were told about this individual? Now would be a good time to stop listening to those sources. The results don't lie. And when it comes down to it, normal, decent human beings pretty much all want the same thing. So why are we allowing these certain political powers to turn us into each other's enemy?
I'm going to tell you that I'm not too...
You know, I want to say this.
So stupid, dude.
There are not many, but a few people that I no longer work with, not because I don't want to work with them, but because they don't want to work with me because of my beliefs. I really learned who are my real friends through thick and thin. Now, I do have several friends who are Democrat, and we go at it like crazy, but we still remain friends. We still do business together. But there are some family members, friends. I lost fans. I lost followers. I lost two business endeavors and am about to lose another one just because of my post. But you know what, though? What's for me is going to happen anyway. You know, and if you base our friendship, our business dwellings on my beliefs, then you know it's not really meant to be anyway. But with that being said, though, it's just sad for anybody to hate another individual so bad that it can affect the possibility of me and that other person growing, you know, and developing something so great. I mean, one of them is a great opportunity for both of us. But just because I like Trump is not going to happen. That's it. Anybody else experiencing that loss of friends, family relationship because of this?
Yeah,
because of that belief?
As you know, I just quit my job.
Right.
And got a new job, a better job. You know,
over Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, right. And it really wasn't really over Charlie Kirk. It's the fact that he would have a moral standard of such action that he would feel justified or feel good that, you know, he sees that as a good action. It just, we're coming into a spiritual war, and people are have a moral standard that people have. If there's not a person of any religion, any race, of anything that's going to sit there and look at a child getting hit or a woman getting raped and feel good. If you do, that moral standard is ready to die. You know? And, yeah, right.
Good.
Yeah,
You're good though.
Yeah, but the moral standard is, you know, there are things that aren't okay no matter what you believe in. And we're starting to get to that point where these extremists or these ideas are so far off of a moral standard that you no longer can justify them with a news clip or a picture or a stream. That you have to actually, believe in what you're saying. And there's just no basis to a lot of this that has any moral ethics that makes people want to support it anymore.
Sam, hold on a second. How are you backing anything up with facts? Hold on a second. How are you backing up? All you doing is making statements, words of wisdom. You know what? You really need to change your name, because you have an opportunity to come up here, even put whatever sources you have on this avenue, and you're not backing up any statement. As a matter of fact, you're a ghost. As a matter of fact, you might be a bot.
Everything that you've stated has been an assertion. Unless you give us some kind of epistemology of why you think that, it's going to remain an assertion.
You're not. As a matter of fact, you're not even real.
And what do you mean speak to your local guard? We're talking about a national collection.
You know what? As a matter of fact, Sawyer, everybody else on the panel don't even reply to him or it. As far as we're concerned, it's a it, because we don't know what it is.
He's just trolling, dude.
Sam, he trolling right now. He grifting, like Michael Bowie say. He grifting. Sam, have you had lost any relationships or anything over your political views? You're on mute, Sam.
When I first became unaffiliated, a lot of people thought, "Oh, you going to the other side," and I said, basically, I did just like Denzel Washington did. He unregistered as a Democrat, and they just assumed he went to the other side, when he basically just said, "I'm gonna just do my research and put policy over party," and that's basically what we do in our household. Now, if somebody, we don't vote to invite people to the cookout. We vote for people that's going to improve our life. And as far as when I look back since '91, when I first voted, I've always voted for who was going to benefit what I was doing right now. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Ross Perot. I voted for Obama the first time. I voted for Romney. I voted for Trump. And the thing is like, if we look at where the GOP is today, they were literally what Democrats were running on back in the Clinton days, when he shut down the government. He cut the government by 400,000 jobs. He had the first budget surplus. Obama, after he betrayed all those people with not codifying Roe versus Wade his first term, he changed his second term into running on what Bill Clinton did. So he started to do the immigration. Matter of fact, he did it so good that he literally made a record for the people that was non-judicial removals, like 2.7 million. And non-judicial means there wasn't even a removal order. All the people that are being removed now, they have a removal order. And it may be from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 3 years ago. The fact is they received due process and they had a removal order. So the thing is like, everybody praised Obama, and now they're against what Trump is doing right now. He literally is doing what Obama did. He's literally doing what Trump did. Even Obama's USDC. All Trump did was change the name to Doge. It's literally the same thing. And when you look at that executive order, you look at the third paragraph, it says that all it's doing is changing the name. That's why they didn't have to go to Congress to get money for it, because it was already in place under the Obama administration. So I just think that we need to, don't hate on somebody just because they're a political party, because literally a lot of the GOP today are basically the 90s Democrats.
Yeah, I want to say this too, before I go to Nick. No, I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to get back to that. If you said Obama fired 400,000, correct?
380,000. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton cut 420,000.
And Trump did 4,100, correct?
Well, he did the voluntary, you know, and I think when they did the voluntary, they had about 66,000 that took that early, you know, that severance pay. But
41,000, right?
Yeah, and if you also think about it, where we're talking about, you know, mention the tariffs, Bill Clinton tried to get tariffs, couldn't get it. Obama tried to get tariffs. Everybody on the Democratic side was, you can look it all up on YouTube. Everybody was trying to get tariffs because all these other countries was charging the U.S.
Right.
Now,
if they can tariff us, why we can't tariff them?
Reciprocal tariffs. So now that Trump's doing it and he's following through with it because of his party, people are against it. I want people not to pay income tax if they make less than $150K a year. Like, who wouldn't want that? I don't.
And check this out. And check this out. Nick, Adam, Sawyer, Sam, if you didn't go to work for 15 freaking days, would you get fired?
Sure. Yeah.
Would you get fired?
Yeah.
So why the hell they can't get fired? Now let's move right along. After I get your take on why, what's your take on have you been lost relationships over your political choice? We're gonna ask, have you lost any relationships over your political views, Nick?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've had I play music out. I've had people try to cancel my shows. I've had people call venues. I've had them try to be like, yo, this guy is just list whatever you want to call me. And they do that. And I've had that. It happened really bad in 2020 because I wasn't completely on board with a lot of stuff that was happening. I really didn't say a whole lot other than, you know, it was almost like they had this thing back in 2020 where they used to say silence is violence. And it's like, okay, well, you know, I just decided not to engage in it because, well, you know what? Because I see how crazy you guys are. And I'm like, you know, I'm playing music. I'm going out. Yeah, man, I've lost shows. I've lost, there's venues that at that time, now I'm back rolling again over the last few years because I'm not signed to a label. So, I mean, you can't really, you can kind of bully me out of a certain venue, but more venue owners now are like, yeah, whatever. These people are bums, whatever. I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, man, I've lost a lot of gigs over time. And I want to make one comment real quick on that Chris Cuomo video where he was talking before we move on, or whatever you decide. But
yeah, we're on that topic. Go ahead.
Chris Cuomo's brother was so bad at being mayor. He was so bad that they are about to elect a socialist mayor. Like you were so bad, like that people of New York City, less than 25 years ago, New York City suffered one of the most massive attacks on America by Islamic extremists when they flew planes into the World Trade Center or Twin Towers. And, you know, now 25 years later, you're about to elect a socialist. Some people are saying he's a communist. You're about to elect that. And to me, that is freaking insanity. And that's really all I gotta say about that section.
And then
he's an Islamist. So basically, what you're seeing happen in Minneapolis,
exactly,
you're about to see what's happening. That's going to happen in New York. What you're seeing in Dearborn, Michigan, where they do the call to prayer start on loudspeakers starting at 5 a.m. The entire city council now is Islamist. The mayor is Islamist, and that's why they're voting in Minneapolis. Now they're trying to buy Prince's estate to turn that into a mosque, and their numbers are undeniable because where U.S. citizens are having 1.2 kids, 1.5 kids, they're having 5 to 10 kids. So they're utilizing the womb to outnumber. So when they go to the polls, they're going to win. So now in Dearborn, Michigan, they're trying to put Sharia law on everyone. They have a police force with Islamic writing on it. And I think what the mayor, the guy that's probably going to be the mayor of New York, he's using what I've spoke to people about. It's called the Takaya. And it's basically Islamists, and it says this in the Quran, I think probably in 80 different places, that whatever it takes for you to blend in and get the benefits and anything that you need to spread the word of Allah, you can hide yourself. You can eat pork. You can eat pig feet. You can eat hog maws and chitlins, as long as that gets you to rubbing elbows with the people where you lie to them and you get them to trust you, and then they start to push your agenda. So they just did that study on Minneapolis, and over 50% of the 80,000 Somalis that went there, they found out that they had immigration fraud, including an active member of Congress, married her brother. And she's not suing for defamation because she don't want nobody to expose it. That's most people. If somebody told me that I married my sister, guess what? I'm suing this America. I'm suing. I'm getting paid. Ask yourself why she's not suing for defamation. So I just think, people really need to wake up. And I think, Nick, you was definitely right when you said Cuomo was the worst. But we have to do, just like the playbook of the Democrat, what did you put up to go against Cuomo? Like you had Cuomo and Eric Adams. Both was wrapped up in scandals. And that's the choice. So I just think, New York, that guy is raising the taxes by 2% over $1 million. So I think what the plan is for him to get people of power out of New York so they can start getting more and more Islamists into the city councils. And guess what? It's going to be just like Minneapolis, where if you're a Muslim, you're an Islamist, you get free college. You get
and Michigan too.
Yeah, Dearborn. You get a free check every month from the city. So basically, I think New York is going to eventually become that because they're having 5 to 10 kids. In 20 years,
right,
they're going to be the majority.
All right, let's back up a little bit. What you guys think the real reason they don't want the National Guard in these cities? Starting with you, Adam.
I think the big topic there would be writer votes. One thing that they're really trying to fight for right now is ID laws, and some of these illegal immigrants being able to actually have an ID but not have a social security card in order to be able to use it for voting. Also, when you have those ID cards, you have a larger capital of people, which allows you to have more funding. And a lot of this has to do with the almighty dollar. So a lot of this attacks on like the government shutdown, and this all really has to do with fraud. It's fraud at the highest level. And just trying to expose it is pissing everybody off. And a lot of these crazy programs that got ended and funded was really just funneling money to other sources or other ideologies that had nothing to do with America or what's best for America. And I think it's great for that. But I mean, this fight needs to happen. It's going to be a little bit of struggle getting there, but hopefully the market doesn't crash too much where it can't recover. Or maybe that's the goal.
Sam, briefly, what's the real reason they don't want Trump's assistance?
They want people to vote. Tim Walz just signed a bill into law yesterday that every person that resides in Minnesota can get a valid driver license, and it will allow them to vote.
Exactly.
That's what they're trying to do, because they know the Electoral College isn't going in their favor. They know because the Democrats have gerrymandered so much, they basically maxed out. Once California does these 5 votes, the Republicans basically can get, I think, 17 seats by redrawn maps. And it's not that they're cheating or anything. They should have been doing it all along, and from my perspective. But I just think that they're trying to anything that's Trump is bad. What they say, orange man bad. That's basically what it is.
Nick.
I think this comes down to the battle of a couple years back. I started really studying the World Economic Forum, and I think a lot of this comes down to globalism versus nationalism on what you feel, as far as everybody doesn't have to live beside each other, right? And I don't want to get too far off topic here, but if you look back at some of these things, I think it's coming from a bigger source. I think if you look at it, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones. I don't know if you've ever heard of some of these things, but elitist, there's a lot of 1%ers like that really believe the population should be knocked down. There's a lot of people that believe there shouldn't be but so many people that actually live on Earth. And to me personally, I see it. And it looks like, to me, the Republican Party at the moment is the party that actually is going, hey, you should have rights within your own country, and you should be able to operate, while you have the left, to me right now, that's looking like they want this kind of globalist type agenda. Everybody's welcome everywhere. There's no borders. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
I think it's because crime pays. They want crime. They want blacks killing blacks, Hispanics killing Hispanics, white trash killing white trash. Crime, period. Because it pays. Insurance for businesses could stay high. A whole lot of things. Police officers, they have to work hard, extra hard. It's just so much. It's just so much. It's such a benefit to them. They're needed. They feel like if it's cleaned up, they're not needed. They won't be needed, Oh, here go that clown again. Here go wow again. I'm not going to even read it. I'm not going to even waste my my retinas on that. Yeah, my retina.
It's important for us to address it, though.
Can you words of wisdom? Hey man, is there any way you could just, Sawyer, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but is there a way Words of Wisdom could just call in? He doesn't have to show his face.
I've already put the link in the chat.
We sent the link.
He completely ignored that, and he's just a chat warrior. This is what he does.
I got you.
Evidently that's what he does.
Thanks, Sawyer. Thank you, man.
Anyway, moving right along. He done got me off track. The next one I sent you, Sawyer, is not a clip. It's it's just a statement. Can you enlarge it? And whoever got the best eyes, if they could read that, I like the way Trump's smiling right there. And this one is about the benefits of the tariffs. Okay, go ahead, somebody read that, please.
I got you. It's breaking news. Panic is ensuing among Democrats after learning that President Trump is paying the troops, keeping food programs alive for women and children, and cutting thousands of federal employees as a result of their shutdown. Chuck Schumer walked into a political landmine.
Okay. That dude, Chuck Schumer, man, that dude is, he need to be working for Ringling Brothers, for real. Anyway, And the way what he's using to keep the WIC program for the babies and the children. Now, mind you, now don't forget, Trump is a racist. He's a racist, so-called racist, rapist, convicted felon. But during this government shutdown, which we're going to get to with the real cause of the government shutdown, and my researcher, primary researcher Samuel Blue, is going to break down why the shutdown occurred, okay, and how it occurred. Took money from the tariffs.
Hey, do you, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't want to interrupt. But I don't want to interrupt the stream of it. But if we did roll that clip, Sawyer, if we were able to roll that clip just in the beginning, just that first 40 some seconds, I didn't mean to interrupt you either, Sam, but maybe just roll that first 40 some seconds so we can see how ridiculous some of this stuff actually is that's holding up this government shutdown.
No problem.
Okay, yeah, but before we get to that, I just want to let the viewers know that because of the tariffs during the shutdown, President Trump saved the WIC program and was able to pay the military. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for Trump, this government shutdown would have affected the babies, the children, and the military. But Sawyer, do you have that 40-second clip pulled up already?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it cracking.
Up to $5 billion. It would also restore up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on the CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe. They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Western Balkans.
Get the hell out
They
of
want to
here.
spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa, and $2 million for, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. What?
Man, that is ludicrous. That is so ludicrous. Hey, I really appreciate you interjecting on that. I really appreciate that. Guess what? Lyric trying to come on. She just put something in there about Trump. She came on just in time, guys. But anyway, yeah. You know what? Sawyer, play that again. Play that again, please.
Shit. Okay, hold on. Hold on, give me. Oh shit.
Now, how ridiculous! And then, how can you say? How do you expect the Republican to sign off on that? As far as I'm concerned, the government needs to be shut down forever. Because I wouldn't sign their bit of that.
And on top of that, that's not even the big thing. That's just what they're trying to add to it. And the biggest thing is, Sam probably back me up here on this, and Adam and Sawyer and you too as well, Fitz, man. It would be, they actually want health care for illegal immigrants or illegal migrants.
Right.
Now this is on top. This is on top of the craziness they're already doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's cray.
Well, you gotta understand, a lot of them just got busted, and a lot of them old, backdated 100, 200-year-old people, fake citizens, were all getting SSI and these large, crazy amount of checks every month. That's been going on for years. So now that you've cut all that, they have to find another loophole to be able to transfer the money out of the government back into their ideas.
Breach.
You know what?
It would also restore
crazy.
up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on a CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe. They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Western Balkans. They want to spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa. And $2 million for, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. What?
I'm done.
Something just hit me while that played. We got all this money to feed all these ideologies, but we have homeless people, we have elderly people getting SSI, deciding which medicines they're going to get or they're going to pay rent. Like, these problems and issues that are really affecting Americans, like, for me to think that any politician actually cares, it isn't about the money. It's about the ideology of where the money goes. I mean, we could really fix everything, and that's really proof that we're just blowing millions and millions and millions of dollars on something that has nothing to do with the actual effects of our day-to-day life. Sad.
That is so sad, man. That is so sad. And you know, I'm baffled by that. You know what? And I posted that earlier in the week, and I think I glanced through it, and the response that I got was so nonchalant, you know. Well, I don't get many likes anyway, you know, and I don't post for likes anyway. But the lyric just came on in the green room, and I think she was trying to get in, but I guess it's too late right now. But she sent something about, of course, you know, she hates Trump so bad. She was talking about Trump signed something about refugees for white folk, refugee settlement camps for white folks only. But, you know, I'm not going to even entertain that. But anyway, it's just ludicrous. Anybody got a burning desire right now? Because I don't even want to go behind that. Y'all know how I feel about that alphabet community. Pretty soon the whole damn alphabet gonna be gay. Every year, every damn 6 months they add another letter to it or something. I don't know why they left F and D out. They skipped around F and D. I can't comprehend. I ain't trying to comprehend. They act like God changed his mind.
Could I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course you can.
And then I want Sawyer to play this video. What people need to understand, first off, with all these protests, you know, all this free Palestine, now the war, you know, they start a peace agreement. Now you have a bunch of people that are bored because they're trying to find something else to do to take up their time versus contributing to society, trying to help their community. They're just causing chaos. And basically a lot of people, you know, it's basically the blind leading the blind. But there's groups out there, like I would say the mayor of New York is one. And I just want to reiterate how the Islamic community, now I have, you know, friends that are Muslims and stuff, and I don't look at them as extreme Islamists. But if Sawyer, if you could play, this guy used to be a hardcore terrorist.
I was an extremist, Islamist, fundamentalist. I would only vote left. Why is that? I saw them as very stupid. I would fear the conservatives because they come with principle. That's not someone they can brainwash. But the left, I know they have no values and no principles to begin with. I dare you to find one Islamic extremist that votes for Donald Trump. Would never do it. They'd give their vote to the leftist who wants to run around in pride parades. And Islamic extremists are against gays and homosexuals and transgenders, but they want the left to go and get busy with that. They want them, go speak about the climate, go speak about abortion, go kill yourselves, go do that. And she's fighting for abortion rights and all the other, my body, my choice. Yes, go do that. But would she have an abortion? Never. Would she kill a Muslim in her stomach? Never.
What is the fundamentalist and jihadi agenda for America?
The future of America has to be Muslim.
So basically, I wanted that played because to me, that right there is the game plan. You have Qatar that has donated $2 billion to Columbia University to indoctrinate students. You're having all these foreign, the CCP, they're paying for all these students, all the full tuition, because that is where you get influence. No one becomes a president because of the power, of the pay. It's only $400K a year. It does have great benefits, but you become the president so that your son can sell you to other countries like Joe Biden's son did. The influence of being the son or being a family member of the president of the United States or the VP of the, it's all about influence. But when we look at what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, New York, what that ex-extremist just said, that's literally what they're trying to do it. And they're doing it in three ways. The first way is through the womb, where they're having all these kids and they're going to outpopulate. The second thing is they're using the Takaya to lie and manipulate to get in. And the third reason, I think it's called the harem, where they're basically using our laws that they cannot stand to get their way. Because Islam is not a religion. It's a culture. It's a civilization. But they say it's a religion so they can use it in America to their advantage. That's the reason why they say it's a religion, but it's actually a culture. It's a civilization. And that's the game plan for them to take over. But you see China just started destroying all the Islamic temples. Italy just banned the burqas and, Sharia law. Texas just signed it in. Florida is about to sign it in. Everybody just better start waking up, because they actually, at the Vatican, the Pope, this new Pope, just opened up an Islamic prayer center inside the Vatican. That type of compromise right there, I don't know what everybody's belief in the Bible is, but when you begin to compromise, it's almost like, oh, I'm a Christian, but on Saturdays, I'll go ahead and worship Lucifer, or it's okay because I'm spending more of my time with Christianity. Right. And I think that right there is sending the message to where, we just need to be careful and stop allowing these people to use us to protest in Chicago. We need to do just like Memphis. We haven't heard of no protests in Memphis because the governor wants it. The black mayor of Memphis wants it. The black chief of police, she wants it. And guess what? All of their crime has nosedived. And all these people that live in Memphis are now happy. So why can't DC? Well, DC didn't have a choice because it's federal, but the people in Chicago, most of the people in the inner city want that. They get tired of not being able to sit out on their front porch. So I just think we just have to stop using these smoke screens. I think that right there is it's allowing the extreme Islamists to do their work, to accomplish their goal, their jihad.
Yeah. And Sam, I want to mention this, man. I think that was a great take. And me and my dad were talking about this. What a crazy, bizarro world that we actually live in, to where you have the feminist and also the people that are my body, my choice, actually aligning politically with the guys who believe in Sharia law. I mean, there's nothing about that they would ever, like, if some of these women, and I say, if some of these white liberal women went over to these countries,
they'd be killed.
And the craziness to me is I don't think any of them actually like do their homework like we're doing on this podcast right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the craziness, how does a woman that's like my body, my choice go and you're siding with someone who is an Islamic extremist that believes in Sharia law? And that's what we're dealing with on the left. We are dealing with a complete and utter bag of nuts.
It says that Nick, it says that in the Quran. You know, the infidel is Westerners. And if you look back before 2005, Palestine, the women in Palestine was at the beach in bathing suits. Soon as Hamas convinced them, hey, y'all need us to be our leader, they had baseball caps on and all those things. Soon as they voted them into power in 2005, in 2006, when they took over, they immediately incorporated Sharia law. Women had to be covered up. If a woman burned dinner, he can cut both her hands off and they wouldn't think twice about it. You know, so
wow, that's crazy.
It's just funny how I see so many people advocating, and if you live there, you would literally be killed. But then you have people saying, well, they're humans, they're humans. I haven't heard one person talk about what's happening in Mexico right now. Mexico, because the U.S. borders closed, the president of Mexico is expelling every single illegal alien in Mexico. And I'm gonna tell you, the policia, the federales, them jokers come in kicking, beating them up with the stick. They're not doing like they're doing here. They got those illegal aliens down in Mexico. They're running to leave the country. So, but we're not hearing none of our morality people say anything about that.
And
not protesting.
Isn't Trump in the process of stopping not illegal immigrants, but foreigners from buying mass portions of land in the United States? Or is it land, period?
No, I think he's starting it, but that's something kind of like property tax. That's not a federal issue, that's a state issue. So I know the governor of Arkansas, she just signed a bill that no non-citizen can buy land in Arkansas. Texas is working on passing that same bill. Like those are certain things that are the state level. So when
they need to make that nationwide, man.
They need to make it nationwide.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, but
I mean, they need to make it nationwide because we can't go to Dubai and buy anything. You can't buy no property in Dubai. You can only rent.
There's only one place in Dubai where you can actually buy, and that is what they call free land. And basically, the free land areas are the areas where
concentrated. It's concentrated.
Well, they're the help. So you don't never see Rick Ross or DJ Khaled living it up in a house in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, anywhere over there. You see them in a condo that's being rented. So Dubai definitely has that business to where people can buy condos, kind of like timeshares, but you cannot buy land unless you're an actual citizen there. And you can't have dual citizenship. That's the thing where people are getting mad and saying what we need to do here in the US, but every country that people try to point to and say, oh, US, we could be like Greenland, we can be like Denmark. Well, guess what? Denmark and Poland, they have free healthcare, they have zero homelessness, they have some of the lowest crime rates, but guess what? They have zero immigration. Poland brags about it. They're like, yeah, we have zero immigration. Germany tried to come at Poland. Poland was like, you need to focus on all them people trying to take over Germany. So that's the thing. I want people, when you're comparing other countries, compare another country that does as much immigration as the U.S. does. Not one country in the world allows, and I'm not talking before Biden opened the border. I'm talking about 69,000 immigrants a year that are allowed into the U.S. No other country allows that many to come in.
Well, you know what, guys? This has been a great show. I appreciate y'all input and intake on every topic that we had. I want to send a shout out to my sponsor again, Doja Vineyard, and my very own brand of Six Paradise Juice, fruit flavored punch moonshine. Shouts out to Rashid Myers, Lit Sticks, CBD, hemp, THC. And I want to close by saying this. Proverbs 17:17. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But I'm going to use y'all Bible. Proverbs 17:17. It says, a friend loveth at all times. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, love each other at all times. Peace, love, and hair grease.
By the way, Nick, stick around after the show. We're going to hang out for a minute.
All righty.